Welcome to our podcast. I'm Jess.
I'm Mandy.
And we are drama bonded. And today, 2 weeks later, we are going to cover the final finale.
The last episode.
The last episode of Love Island and cover episodes 3 and 4 of The Bachelorette.
Which I will say the last episode of Love Island has been my least favorite.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no more drama to be had, right?
But also, it's so fucking long for no reason.
Wasn't it like 3 hours?
It felt like 3 hours.
Maybe it
there
was
were so
2.
many like slow-mo, like, we're happy and kissing and dancing.
It was very cinematic. But before we get
beautiful.
Yeah. Before we get too deep into it.
Oh, yeah, we have a candy review.
Let's do it.
Candy reviews with Mandy and Jess.
You bought a fun one this time.
Guys, I found a crazy one in my world travels.
Yeah.
So, if you grew up in the 90s, you probably had a push pop. This is called Push Pop Gummy Poppets.
They're pretty good and very fun to gain access to.
I feel like the case, so it's in the cylindrical plastic case, and the idea is so that it's similar to the push pop experience. You pull apart the case, and then a little gummy drop loads onto this platform, and then you push the cylindrical case down, and the poppet appears.
Yeah. And it mostly works.
It's a little defective, but I think it's a creative idea.
It definitely, as you pointed out, prevents you from eating them quickly. Like it definitely is you got to work for it.
It's a little laborious.
It really is, yes. That's a good way to describe it.
But also kind of hilarious.
Yeah, it was great. And the gummies were really good.
Yes.
They are unlike, I don't know, they remind me of something, but I can't tell you exactly what.
They're not very sour. They definitely have like that crystallized coating on them.
Yeah, they're really heavy in the citric acid.
Yeah, and there's 2 blues, a pink and a red.
Yeah, and the blues are both really good. Like blue raspberry and berry blast or something, and then strawberry and watermelon.
I think if you were a kid, this would be so entertaining.
Yeah, I always liked getting the kind of novelty candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But yeah, we tried it, guys.
Yeah, well, I'll post a photo on our social media.
Check your nearest gas station.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever would have like clocked those and bought them. So good eye. You're really good at this. You will explore, and I sometimes get tunnel vision around candy.
We have some bangers in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's always like hard though, I will confess, that you drop candy off at my house and it just sits there and I know it's there.
Oh, shoot. Should I not do that anymore?
No, it's okay. It just like is a really good practice for me to be like, nope, you can't eat the podcast candy. It is off limits.
I will say, I got a gross one. I already ate the entire bag of gross one myself. So if you want to eat the gross one by yourself, you can.
Thank you. I can experience that alone.
And we will share the gross one with you when we get to it.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, I'm excited. At least I don't have to worry about that. Okay. Love Island finale. Very cinematic.
Yeah, kind of overly cinematic for me. And as much as I love the remaining couples, it just really got drawn out.
Yeah, I didn't need these long dates. They didn't add anything. I didn't feel any better about the couples, except for I did really like Cordell and Serena's.
It was very cute. The movie.
The movie. I thought that was so cute.
very
I
cute.
actually loved that one. Everybody else's. Oh, and Janae and Kenny's also was sweet with the family notes.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
But what was Leah? I mean, Leah and Miguel's was boring.
Wasn't it just like a beach picnic or something?
Yeah, with the ATV ride.
ATV and then the horses.
And they didn't get to hear from their families, and they were the top 2. They were in the top 2.
They were so surprised they were in the top 2. I was so surprised they were in the top 2.
Ugh.
I mean, okay, in a way I wasn't, because I know Leah has a huge fan base. And I've come around. I don't dislike Leah as much as I used to, but I was surprised they were in the top 2 as a couple.
I'm not. I think that they had really fun chemistry, and I think it probably, especially for like Gen Zers, felt a lot more authentic of like just sort of they were both being really mature, but they were also kind of recognizing things for what they were, and they were just really enjoying each other's company. And there's something really sweet and endearing about that. Like they weren't trying to pretend to be anything different. They did seem really genuinely into each other, and they were just having fun with it. So I get it. It makes sense to me.
Eh.
That's fair. But truthfully, I'm a Leah fan.
I know you have been. I like her more than I used to, but I think to have them being the final two was a little underwhelming for me. That being said, just happy Serena and Cordell won.
So happy Serena and Cordell won.
And now I understand how the money thing works, which to me was
Yeah, that made a lot more sense now too. So you can totally screw somebody over. It would have been epic to see Kaylor get the money and take it, but she would never.
she would never have done that.
I
Erin
know.
might have.
Ew.
I actually am interested to know what would happen if Leah and Miguel won because they weren't as coupled as Serena and Cordell.
Yeah, and $100,000, a lot of money. I mean, I just metagaming here. Leah is from a very rich family. All of her clothes were designer.
But what if Miguel won it?
She would be fine without the money.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't know if he would share it.
I think Miguel would have shared it.
I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know.
I think that's a 50-50 for me. I don't know if he would or not.
Okay. I would be curious about the show's history.
I'm curious too.
What do people have the balls to just be like taking the money?
I mean,
Would you take the money?
It would depend on who I was in a couple with and how invested I was in them.
I could never. I would have anxiety about that money for the rest of my life. I would. Well, I guess it depends on if right. You wouldn't be in a couple that you got fucked over with. Hopefully, so like I don't know, unless I found myself in a situation where I needed to be spiteful, but like otherwise, even if somebody was just like meh, I'd share the money.
I think 80% of the time I would share the money unless I really didn't see a future with that person and I was okay breaking ties with them.
Wow. I would be too afraid of karma for no reason because I don't actually believe in karma, but that would haunt me. I would just be like, I don't know.
I mean, $100,000 is $100,000.
So much money.
Yeah.
I hear you. Respect. I
said
would-
80-20.
Okay, I know.
80% I would share.
Okay, I know. I'm not judging you.
A little bit.
No, I'm not. It's truly like my own. I get it. I think that is smart. Take the money. What was like the most fun thing about watching this for you?
The show?
The show, just kind of generally, like what made this a good time? Because we both had a ton of fun watching.
So many things. I think we both agreed the female friendships were
Love it.
probably the funnest thing because I think you see so little of that in reality television, especially like these kind of more dating shows that feel kind of like a competition where women are kind of pitted against each other
Yeah.
to attract men. This dynamic doesn't usually lend itself to female friendships.
No, I mean, even with like Janae and Connor and Leah and Nicole and Liv and Miguel, you had kind of moments where like, I don't know, yeah, there was a lot of room for women to potentially view each other as competition and remain mad, and they didn't. Janae, Miguel, and Serena
Even
with the
Janae
eggs.
and the eggs.
The eggs!
The eggs.
The eggs. I get it. I would be that person too, being like, I said I was going to though. But I totally respect Serena being pissed about that.
Oh yeah, I'd call that bitch out.
Yeah. And she did. And that's, I think, something that was also really refreshing to see is not like that is what made those friendships good, right? Like Liv, Leah, Kaylor, and Serena all having that talk, or Janae and Serena, Janae and Leah, like everybody Leah and Liv, like they all had their moments. So it felt real, but they also managed to come together and talk through things, which was so cool to see.
Yeah, something else I liked about the show was the juxtaposition of the messiness of the competitions that didn't really mean anything and how it would cause discourse in I guess, safety of the villa.
Yeah, we need that on Paradise.
Because it seemed like, in theory, whatever happened in the competitions was like, oh, it was a competition, it doesn't count. But
It definitely
there were always
ruffled feathers.
moments where feathers were ruffled, and it's like, does it not count? Because
Kendall calling Rob out for being the least trustworthy guy.
oh yeah, or like Hannah kissing
Hakeem.
after she was like, I'm done with you.
Yeah, that was wild. And she's like, I thought it would be funny.
And I was like, oh girl, you stupid.
Kendall did not think that was funny.
I mean, she could have kissed anyone else and it probably wouldn't have been as big of a deal. She literally chose the one person that was the most problematic.
Yeah, she did. Ew, and I can't get over how mad Aaron was at Kaylor for kissing. I can't even remember who Kaylor kissed, but he was so mad. And then he goes to Casa that far into their relationship and kisses Daniela.
Well, he does more than that.
Yeah, he does. Ew, Aaron. Hate
that.
Fuck,
Aaron.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna miss it. That needs to be like my text notification.
No, our text notification is, I'm a bad bitch with a fat ass. Okay, a couple other things I like. Love the fashion.
So good.
And I also just think, kind of in line with the cinematic, the show is just beautiful. I'm like, are these people really that beautiful? Or is the show just so good at filming, so good with the music, so good with the cinematography? I think the show does a really good job of just, it almost kind of creates this weird Barbie world where it's relatable but also untouchable at the same time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And yeah, I think these people are that beautiful.
No, I know, but every once in a while, it's just like, damn, these people are flawless.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of the point of the show is just these beautiful people being filmed beautifully, all being so messy.
I want to know the average amount of time spent in the makeup room each day.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of time there. Yeah, you think about that of like, I think about this with Big Brother too, right? Like if I literally just had all day, no pen, no paper, no books, no music, and I can't just eat 24/7, I would definitely up the amount of time I spent getting ready.
But there's also a full spectrum of, like, I feel like Serena was a little bit more natural in her makeup choices, whereas like Hannah was wearing a full face, eyelashes, all the things. I do think that there's,
I saw a meme with Hannah after she kissed Kendall, and he just had like, and he had this huge shit-eating grin on his face, but all of Hannah's makeup all over his face. I saved it for when you come back.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Hannah put on a lot of makeup. A lot of them did, though. I
No,
mean, I
and
remember
that's-
being surprised to see Nicole
or
with,
Kaylor.
yeah. Oh, Kaylor. Yeah, I would imagine many hours were spent in the makeup room.
But also they enjoyed spending time there with each other.
Yeah, I think that's one of the few times they mostly got uninterrupted guy time, except because it didn't seem like guys were allowed to be in there really.
Unless to bring them breakfast.
Yes. Did you catch Cordell giving Serena breakfast with tongs?
No.
When he brings her breakfast after they reconcile.
Was that when he was like edging towards her?
Yeah.
I didn't see the tongs.
Yeah, he had tongs.
Oh, okay.
It was so good. Also, though, I think Serena and Cordell will be good outside of the villa, but Cordell's mom went really hard on Serena for a little while, so
Oh, really?
I hope that gets better. Yeah, I didn't have any screenshots for what mom said, but also I wouldn't want to do that to Serena. But yeah, it wasn't good.
Well,
But I think the breakfast thing probably had something to do with that.
and also, son's mamas.
God, I know. But also, lady, teach your son that no means no.
Yeah.
She said don't. And he did. So, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think the show on all of those things, I think that's what I really loved about it. Plus, they casted like really interesting people.
Which of our 4 couples do you think have a chance of making it?
Honestly, definitely not Kaylor and Aaron. Can I talk a little bit about what's been going on outside of the villa?
Well, yeah, but I said last 4 couples, but you can include
Oh,
Kayla and
last
Aaron
4
in that.
couples. Oh,
I
definitely.
don't think Kayla and Aaron are gonna make it for sure.
You're right, 4 couples. I'm sorry, I didn't hear
That's
that.
okay.
Um, well, definitely not Kendall and Nicole.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually my brain was making too many connections a little too quick there. Yeah, they got out of the house and it was radio silence.
Really?
And Leah, Janae, and Serena are like together all the time. All the guys are together. Like they did a cast event at Universal Studios and there was not a single photo of Nicole and Kendall together.
Oh, shit.
So,
You called it.
yeah, I definitely got vibes from her that she was not, I don't know. And it's also, I was thinking about this today too, as I was trying to think about what to talk about for this. But I also can't imagine sort of being in that really happy bubble and feeling so good about your relationship, like so good, and then coming in 4th and then coming out of the house and sort of there was a lot of talk about those 2 and a lot about how Kendall gave a lot of people the ick by the way that he, like, talked to Serena with his arms folded and was, like, looking down at her and kinda looming over her, the way that he really encouraged the men in Casa. He just a friend to all is a friend to none, and I have to wonder, like, her coming out of the house if that just, like, rattled how she felt about everything. And that's gotta just be tough because, like, I don't fucking want everybody's opinion on the guy I'm dating, Like, I barely want anybody's opinion, so I can't imagine suddenly having this show's been streamed, like, 9 billion hours, like, that many people feeling a way about something.
On the yeah, on the one hand, I see that. On the other hand, I do think she was exposed to she saw the video where he was egging on the men in Casa. She had things to say about that. It's not like she was blind to him being kind of an ick sometimes.
No, yeah, for sure, but I think it's probably a lot different, and I'm speculating, I don't actually know, there's nothing I've got no this is just my uninformed opinion. I don't know that that's what's going on, but I think it's a lot different when you sort of see it, but everybody around you's, like, happy for you, and Kendall's really beloved in the group, but then outside of that, less so.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to impact how you feel about things. Or maybe not, but I
Well, it
feel
should
like
impact how Kaylor feels about Aaron, but I guess we'll see.
There have been some really awkward interviews with them, and Kaylor is just laying into Aaron, and he is, like, sitting there nervously, like, fidgeting, and I don't think they're still together.
Well,
But we get a reunion
yeah.
on August 19th, so we'll know more then.
Yeah.
But I have to wonder too if, like, people just don't want to announce that they're not together until then. That makes for a much better reunion.
Fair.
Like, why even tune in if we know people aren't together? So, anyway, there's some of that. Um, Final thoughts?
I just thought the whole thing was a treat. Also, Ariana's finale look was magical. The diamond
Yes.
dress, the tiny buns,
It was
like,
so good.
amazing.
Dan, her current boyfriend, posted on Instagram kind of saying to, I guess, all the haters that she got her body by working out 2 to 3 hours in the gym regularly and her diet was on point, and also that he's not going to give free workouts to people because that's his job, so stop asking him and pony up the money, which all good points, but she did it, her hard work showed.
Good for her.
I know. I'm also glad he said that. It was like, right, if you want to look that good, you can. But that's
What
the kind of stuff
is
that it
everyone
takes.
speculating she's doing Ozempic?
I don't know what actually the speculation on that was. Where I circulate is very pro Ariana. So I do know she admitted to, like, she talked about all the procedures that she had done, like plastic surgery wise. And the only thing there sort of that would affect, like, I guess the appearance of her weight was she had something that I think Brittany was trying to do with, like, where you don't have a extra
Chin?
chin. Yeah. And anyway, outside of that, the like that work, everything else was exercise. But yeah, I would imagine Ozempic is probably what people speculate. Though that's so dumb. She didn't have that much weight to lose.
Yeah, Ariana's always been small.
Yeah, I have so many feelings about Ozempic, but, like, I really hate that somehow it's like, you're not a natural thin. Like, oh my god, let's just stop with the speculation. Who cares? Anyway, she looked good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I loved all of her outfits. That actually was probably a highlight for me that I didn't mention, but I guess you did. But, like, specifically Ariana was, like, a joy to watch. So, anything else on Love Island?
Not for me.
Did you tell us who you think is gonna, like, least likely to make it?
Well,
Sorry,
I
I feel like
guess
we, like, steamrolled through
aside
that.
from Kendall and Nicole, I don't see Leah and Miguel lasting very long.
I don't know. Yeah, they seem like they're much more,
And
like,
kind of what you said, it feels like they're realistically looking at their relationship and kind of being more honest with each other. Like, I do think that they care about each other, and I think that they have a lot in common. I think that they do mesh well. I think they're a beautiful couple. I just never really believed them as a couple that would fall in love.
yeah, that's fair. Well, yeah, and I think currently he lives in the UK, so that also is tricky.
Yeah, and she lives in California. Uh, so logistically, probably not going to work out unless he moves to LA, which maybe he might. I don't know. I also just think, as much as I like Miguel, he's going to get a ton of attention from women once he gets off the show. And Miguel is definitely one that will like to wander.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'd imagine Leah's got some pretty full DMs too. One thing I forgot to mention, Leah reached 2 million followers, and Janae, Serena, and I believe Rob have all reached 1 million.
Wow.
So,
I mean, yeah, she'll have DMs too.
oh, for sure. But Miguel, I hear you. But I also, I don't know. I don't want to, I feel like I'm ready to project more than, like, I don't know, but I would tend to agree they're not end game. But
They were just never as serious as the other couples. I just never felt that.
yeah,
I liked them as a couple, but I don't think that they're going to like go the distance.
realistically, the show has a really, 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 really low success rate. Like,
Yeah.
I think
of
like
course.
0%.
0.
Yes. Like, don't quote me on UK, but I think for the US, yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So, like, predictably, I don't think anybody's going to make it, but I'm sure they all had a really good time.
Well, that's a letdown.
Sorry. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. If somebody knows if we're wrong, let me know, but I'll definitely look it up and follow up on next episode to confirm that. Should we move on to the Bachelorette?
Let's do it.
Oh, okay.
This season is lame.
It is lame.
And I'm not blaming Jen.
Not lame.
I think that the men's drama is outshining Jen.
They cast just a bunch of fucking yahoos. They're all, just competing for airtime.
Hyper masculine, I don't know, sensitive boys.
Yes. It was really hard to watch.
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting, and it's really too bad because I feel like so much of that is outshining Jen, and it also just goes to show, once again, the producers did not give a shit about the lead. They were worried, or not worried, but they were only thinking about what was going to be good television, not what would be good for Jen.
And if you think about it, these men were originally cast for Maria.
Oh, interesting. I never landed on that, so we're pretty sure that Maria and Daisy.
Maria was cast. They shot promos of her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a last minute back out.
Oh, wild.
And then it was offered to Daisy. Daisy didn't want it. Jen was number 3.
Whoa.
At least that's how I understand it.
Okay.
But I think that Maria was far enough along that she shot promos. She said that on a podcast, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Yeah, and I don't know at what point the men are notified too of like who the Bachelorette is. I find it interesting because didn't we get like a bajillion shots of women finding out it was Joey?
I do think that the casting, from what I understand, I think that they're adding people pretty much up to the last few weeks. So I do think that sometimes people are taken off and added. So, people collectively could have been there thinking it was Maria and then it shifted to Jenn. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Regardless, these guys were gonna suck if it was Jen, Daisy, or Maria.
Yeah.
Both Sams, M and N.
Boo.
Hate that. I also do not love that Jen is obviously incredibly terrified of heights, and they keep pushing this. You made her jump out of a plane and now off of a building.
Okay, should we kind of go in order?
Well, do we want to go in order? I was going to say, do you want to talk about dates, and then we can maybe talk about fashion, and then we can get into the men of it all? Or do you want to go?
Well, I feel like we got to talk about, we can't skip Spencer's date. I think Spencer was a good one-on-one. I think him and Jen have a good connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. What's your vibe on Spencer? I thought you liked Spencer.
I do like Spencer. He's fine. He just seems so nerdy.
He's nerdy.
And not that Jen, I don't know. Jen's just a little too cool for him.
But I do like
the
nerd balances you out.
Totally. And I liked the way that he is telling the guys to simmer the fuck down.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. Come on. Interesting that he was engaged. She left him really abruptly. That's brutal. But
yeah.
I do like that Jen asked him, was that the one where she was asking hard questions? She's despite all of that, do you feel ready to be engaged again? Is that something that you're comfortable with? Do you have hesitations around that? And I loved his answer. He was so thoughtful in that, where he's just yeah, I have thought about that and I have had to work through that. And yes, I am ready.
Totally.
I was these are the conversations we need to be having.
I feel like the one-on-one date with Spencer made me like him more.
For sure. I would agree with that. I don't see him making it to top 4, but I don't know who else is going to. So,
well, I'm so annoyed with Sam, M, and Thomas rubbing their dicks together with their side commentary. I don't know.
No, I hated that too. I think that was really mean. So they go on that Thunder from Down Under date where they learn the dolphin dive, the body roll, and the grip and rip.
Okay. I know we've talked about how it's a double standard to have men scantily clad on The Bachelorette, but I found this date to be quite fun.
I did too. I thought it was really fun. The Thunder from Down Under guys, I guess that they flew in from Las Vegas.
I love that they were voting for. Yes! They had the numbers.
They were in the audience too. Epic. I also thought it was fun that they taught the guys the moves, which was really enjoyable. I thought they all handled that well. I hated Sam M walking up to her and getting right in her face and ripping his shirt off and oh my God.
Though we hated it, Jen probably. Well, apparently she needed a towel, so she really enjoyed it.
I know. It's not me that's having to date Sam M. It's her. I agree, though. I thought all of the guys were so funny. Dylan is the CEO. Marcus is real strong. Neil real strong.
I know Thomas A went home, but damn, I was so impressed with his abs.
I know. As he's rubbing down him. I'm that is what you do with abs if you have abs. You run your hands down them.
You could do laundry on his abs.
Yes, you could. The sexy nerd. I didn't understand Grant, Mr. 8 rounds, but he's hot. So I was here for that. No, I didn't complain about any of these guys. They all made me laugh.
What did you think of Devin's bearing it all as the dirty detective?
That was actually so funny and so well done.
I agree.
I do not like Devin, but this moment begrudgingly made me like Devin. It moved the needle for me because I respect the guy being I do not have the same body that all of these guys have.
And he just put it out there.
He did. He wore that thong and he was funny and he was about it. And he knew that it was to make Jen laugh. But obviously not at him, but just it is a truly absurd moment.
He gave it his all.
Yeah. And I thought that was very sexy. That was so good. Yeah, it moved the needle for me. I loved that. And I think Jonathan winning with wasn't he like
He was a firefighter.
fire cheeks or something? So funny. I was also surprised to see Marcus gyrating on the space helmet. Like, where did that man come from?
Yeah, Marcus surprised me.
Marcus surprised me too.
Sam N also did surprise me and did not surprise me.
I that's one of those moments
So
where I just want to
cringe,
like
so
shrink away.
cringe.
Yes,
Just
kill
dig
me
a
now.
hole,
Yeah,
bury
I'm
me in
done.
it.
I don't want to watch.
Cover your eyes.
Yeah, it's so bad. And he knew it was bad. And it just kept getting worse.
Why did he think it was appropriate to say he was falling in love with her when he hasn't even been on a date with her?
Because he doesn't know what love is. And he's giddy and he's nervous. And I think he's doing that thing where it's like, this is probably what I like need to be doing because I realistically, right? It's like he's just panicked. He knows that he's going to go home if he doesn't either become good television or win Jen over. So he became good television. I know. I hated it. Thank God.
I really liked the driving date.
I was dying. Hakeem doing that all in first gear. You can drive stick.
Oh, yes.
Me
I was
too.
so surprised that these men couldn't drive stick.
I was too. I was like, how do you not know this? This is not like, I know that they're becoming less common, but really, you don't know?
Also, okay, Jeremy brought the car,
Okay,
right?
I was going to tell you this. It very briefly, Jeremy showed up, and I'm like, you seriously showed up in a sports car and you don't fucking know how to drive stick? Get out of here.
Yeah, I was immediately like, wah, wah.
Me too. Done. We're the infatuation is over. But then he stopped
And
kissed her.
That was the best move.
It was the best move. And they were like the ambulance came and all of these things. But I'm like, oh, okay. I'm back on team Jeremy.
It made me like it more. I'm kind of getting your crush.
Totally. And so he redeemed himself as quickly as he lost it for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you show up in a sports car and you don't know how to drive stick.
Yeah, get your fucking sports car out of my face. Like, I don't, No.
Okay.
Yeah, thank God. But I was laughing at how bad those guys were at driving and like, oh my God, Hakeem not coming out of first. Ugh.
His eyes. Hakeem is just pure entertainment.
I know. He's so funny
I'm
and
so sad he went home.
I am too. I'm down to 3.
I feel like the producer should have kept him another couple weeks just because of how hilarious he is.
Well, and he's authentic, it seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about him, he's probably too normal for it though. Like he is funny, but partly I wonder like the choosing Thomas N over Hakeem, I'm like, really? But when you think about it, it's so much easier to just squash guys like Thomas N than it is to like break Hakeem's heart. Right.
Yeah.
So like keeping these kind of slimier dudes is probably and sending home people who are just like genuinely nice, normal people is like the right thing to do. I respect it. But Thomas N should not have stayed over Hakeem.
No.
Ugh. Different kind of fun, I guess. Drama. That date, very good. Jesse also is so funny.
So then we have Aaron telling her that he's going to leave because he got
his flight
training.
Yeah, I guess
Fighter pilot training.
29 years old. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure there's like whatever. Also bad casting.
Still wearing pearls. I don't know why.
Ew, yeah. Oh, and then when he left and he's just like, somebody's not in it for the right reasons. Gonna leave it up to you to figure that out.
That was a dick move.
Ew.
I guarantee you a producer told him to do that.
Yeah. They're like, if there's anything
drop a bomb
really important that you need to tell Jen, tell her. But don't be like too specific because you don't want to seem like you're disempowering.
Stir the pot.
Yep. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. She came in hot though after that. She's like, anybody who's not here for me, get out. I was like, wow, okay.
I feel like we have that moment almost every season, and I'm kind of over it. It's like the lead knows that everyone's not there for the right reason.
Yeah, 30 guys don't want to date you, unfortunately. Like, that would be great, but like, yeah, they're there for notoriety, for friends.
Yeah, I hope you end up with the right one, but the majority of them are there for a good time.
It's true. What else? I feel like Austin crying at the end because he was worried he wasn't gonna get a rose. They must really just psychologically put these dudes through the ringer. You know, like they're probably drunk, they're probably a little tired. Just like, Austin, I don't think you need to cry over this. Like, you guys aren't even that close. But to see him tear up, I was like, ugh, these conditions have got to be kind of rough.
Maybe he's just really jet lagged.
Yeah. It's true. It takes me forever to get over jet lag. I don't know. I get it. But yeah, I don't, it's, I also, Sam M was really off putting by kind of like his threatening to squash Devin or like hold up his fist and be like, but I've got these. I'm like, whoa.
I'm so over Sam M.
Ew. Yeah.
So many red flags. I hate that he's the one that she has the most sexual chemistry with.
Well, and he's sitting here quoting a fucking Nicholas Sparks movie to her. You bother me. Like, ugh. Try a new line. That's like one of the worst Nicholas Sparks movies. So, I don't know. Not a fan of Sam M.
I just feel all of his responses to her sound so canned. And when he does have one-on-one time with her, I mean, this changed a little bit on his date. But anytime it's outside of his date, he has one-on-one time with her. He's not trying to talk to her or get to know her. He's just kissing her. At least that's what the edit is showing us.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just get gross vibes from him.
I do too. Well,
And the way he does his hair reminds me of like a villain in the 90s movies.
yes. Do we want to move on to episode 4 with
Yeah.
his one-on-one?
Yeah.
This gives us room to talk about him. Jenn being terrified about heights, and he's like, yeah, we're going to do it.
I think there was a way where he could have asked her how she was feeling and encouraged her to jump without just acting like he was making the decision.
Yeah, because like at the end, she was happy she did it, but he was so insensitive. And I hated that he is basically just an adrenaline junkie. He's like, this is the stuff that makes you feel alive. It's like, oh my God, go outside more. I don't know. Like, you don't need to be doing this kind of thing to feel alive.
Also, can we just talk about how, and I don't want to minimize Jen's extreme experience, but I was like, this is not a free fall. This is like a very quickly controlled lower.
I get it though.
Oh, of course. I'm not saying it's not scary, but it is not like bungee jumping.
No.
Where you are literally free falling and then rebounding at the bottom.
Yeah. Still,
Honestly, I don't know. When I saw them do it, I was like, meh.
Really? Yeah. I would not. I have a hard time jumping off the high dive.
I mean, it would be scary. I'm not saying I wouldn't have nerves, but it was just like a very fast controlled lower.
Yeah. Well, I think that shows though, like that's something that she is genuinely afraid of. It's not rational. And so I just think it was really insensitive of Sam to be so gung-ho about it without, like encouraging her. He did get it together, but not really. I don't know.
It was enough
for
her.
Yeah. Dumb
she
on the
really
dick.
likes him. She really likes him.
I know. Yeah. And then I felt like his response to being engaged and having had that all happen before felt a lot less authentic than Spencer's response.
Same.
It's like, I don't buy it. I don't know. Sam, I don't even know how to describe the feeling I get from that.
Ick vibes.
Ick vibes. I know. I have the ick all over the place. Ick with Jeremy not having to know how to drive stick. Ick for not giving good answers about previous engagements.
Yeah.
The ick all over this season.
Well, just the way he navigates his relationships with the men and the way he's so macho around Jenn. I just feel like, Jenn, this is not your person.
It's not her person.
If you need to fuck him, like, take him to fantasy suites and then break up with him.
Yeah, get it out of your system, girl. We get it. We've all been there.
We have all been there.
Yeah, but he is going to break your heart.
He is not the one to marry.
No, and yeah, hard pass. The next date or anything else about Sam?
No.
The rugby date.
I loved that date.
Very fun. It was neat to see the New Zealand rugby team. Watching them all practice for that. Then playing. The guys always go so hard on sports. It makes me kind of nervous. I'm like, there's pent up energy there. This isn't like playing sports. This is like definitely dick measuring.
Yeah,
and
the tackling was intense.
it was so intense. Dude. But it was fun. Jen was into it. Jesse is hilarious.
Oh, side note, I love Jesse telling Jen that he ruined the dinners.
Oh my God. Yes. And then just like clip after clip after clip of him just shoveling food into his mouth and trying to talk to the women he's on dates with.
Because Jesse's season was before my time. So I never watched it, but seeing the clips and wondering why they never eat their food, I just fucking loved that.
I know, that was so funny. And I love Jesse. He also hosts like the baking championships on Max, or I guess Food Network. And he's so good. And he's so good as a
He was like talking with his mouth open, just shoveling food on these
I
dates.
know.
These girls are probably telling him his trauma, and he's chewing on a cob of
Somebody's
corn.
mom died. Somebody's, I loved it though.
Yeah.
You gotta eat.
Let's see more of that.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Let people eat. Let's bring that back. Yeah, but Jesse was great. Giving his sports narration for that. Really enjoyed that. I got really sick of Sam In.
Oh, thank God she made the right decision there.
I know, because the blue team wins thanks to John making all the. Is it touchdowns in rugby? I don't actually know. Goal.
He was scoring the
And
points.
Thank you. Scoring. That's the correct way to say that. And Sam In just felt like he was actually the guy who did everything.
I just felt like Sam N transformed into another human during that date. I did not think that he had the gusto to tackle all those men.
How did you describe him?
I said he was a limp noodle. And then on this date, I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Totally. He just like did a 180. He's just got to tap into that man all the time.
I just feel like the entire show thus far, he's just been a complainer.
For me with Sam In, this is another one of those moments where I feel like he sort of knew he needed to produce more interesting television to do something to stay on the show. It didn't feel very real to me, and it felt really sort of manic is the wrong word because I don't want to associate it with something like actually like mental there, but like he needs desperate. That's the word. It just was like, whoa, what is this? This is too much.
The fact that he interrupted Thomas so that he could ask her if he could kiss her.
Yeah.
That is not natural at all.
And you guys, if you haven't kissed the lead at this point, 4 episodes in,
you're going home.
You're done.
You're not done.
Yeah, there is no chemistry there. You're just staying because literally it's a numbers game. Like she has to keep some people around.
Mayday.
Yeah.
Abandoned ship.
Well, luckily she walked him off the plank.
She pushed him off the ship.
Yeah. Can I kiss you? No. Can I walk you out? Bye.
Bye.
That was excellent.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. The guys also, like, I understand their frustration with him in that moment. I also love when Sam In goes to sit down. He's like, I feel like I already won the group date rose. And John's eyes, like, he almost lost them. He was just like, really? And then he goes to ask for the kiss, and it doesn't go well.
Well, that probably was satisfying for the rest of the men.
Could you imagine? I would feel like I won the show at that point.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like that turd getting kicked off. Perfect. I can go home now. Excellent.
What was your opinion on Devin's date?
Listen, I still don't like Devin. However, Devin has had a couple of good episodes, and I don't know, like, I'm still kind of sketched out by him, but I do think that this date, like, okay, I can see at least it doesn't endear me to him more, but I do at least understand a little bit more maybe what Jen is seeing.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think I'm pretty middle of the road on Devin at this point. I think that he's really immature in the way he chooses to engage with Sam M and some of the other men.
Yes.
I think he just needs to drop it. Because he keeps saying it's all about Jen, it's all about Jen, it's all about Jen. But then he, in those interactions, is proving otherwise.
Right. He was defending Sam In episode 3, not because he was defending Sam In, but because he got to get on to Thomas In and Sam M.
Yeah.
What a mouthful.
So I hate that, but I think that I like Devin with Jenn. Like, when the guys aren't there and they're able to just interact, the two of them, I do like that version of Devin.
Yeah, I do too. But red flags that he can't like be
Yeah,
around men.
and that's why I'm middle of the road.
I think that's a smart move. Yeah. I don't love Devin still, but I see what Jenn is saying. Like, at least she seems to be very into him.
Out of the two of them, I prefer Devin over Sam M.
Yeah. I think
If I
that
had to pick the lesser of two evils.
it's true. And I think I try to always keep in mind like editing, but Sam M seems to like directly be saying things like out of his mouth and doing things where I'm just like, yes, obviously this can be edited and like kind of all
In a
pieced together.
very aggressive way, though.
Yes, but like you are saying those things. I'm watching the words come out of your mouth.
Body
and
language.
Yeah, is like, whoa, this is so much toxic masculinity. I cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do wish that Devin would just fucking shut up in those moments, but the way that Sam M comes at him in such an aggro way is just really unattractive to me.
It is to me too. It's gross.
So, do we want to talk about the way the episode ends?
Whoa. What do you think?
Okay, so Jesse kind of sets it up and says that one of Jen's ex-boyfriends has, on his own dime, flown his way to New Zealand. And I don't know. It was hard because I know they were trying to not make it seem overly produced, but the whole thing just felt very
produced.
So Matthew shows up and we find out that he dated Jenn for 3 or 4 months 3 years ago. And since then, it sounds like they've been kind of on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me is a red flag.
Red flag.
Like, I'm sorry, but all of my on and off relationships have been a form of toxic.
Right. There's nothing good about a relationship that is on and off.
Yeah, like why are you just not together? Like, why is it on and off?
Yeah.
And maybe he's not Jen's most toxic ex or whatever, but we know that Jenn tends to talk a lot about her dating history and she doesn't feel like she's been in a healthy relationship. So I'm going to just lump Matthew into those unhealthy relationships.
Yeah, I also feel really uncomfortable. I mean, I guess maybe because he didn't know where she was, but it is just kind of suspicious. Like, this is how he's making this happen.
Yeah, because maybe if they had been dating for a year, 2 years, there's a lot of history there, I maybe get it. But for him to show up when they've only really had a 4-month relationship plus some, it's like, what's your motive here, guy? Are you trying to steal her thunder? Are you just showing up to get your moment on TV? Like, what are you really doing?
Yeah, or
why didn't you show up during Joey's season?
Yeah. It does feel sort of it doesn't add up. It's just like this is not great. I loved that they didn't even let him like go shower or do anything, and it was a long ass flight to New Zealand.
24-hour.
And they were like, "Okay, if you're gonna do it, you gotta go now." Like, damn, I would be
a woman would not be able to do that.
No.
Roles reversed, the woman would be like, I gotta shower. I gotta put on a face.
That's fine. Never mind. I'm not gonna go on national television without being able to shower.
Just kidding.
Never mind.
I should say most women. That's how I would be. If I was gonna make a grand gesture on television, you better believe I would look fine.
Yeah, I will have gotten my hair done, my nails done.
Glam.
Yeah. Definitely not just having gotten off of a 24-hour flight.
Yeah. Like, hello.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I'm sure.
Well, you think that she sends him home, and I said, I bet she keeps him.
Well, we'll find out next time.
And maybe in her heart she wants to send him home, but I wouldn't be surprised if production was like, keep him for at least a week or two because the men are going to lose their shit.
Yeah, you're going to like feet to the fire, like make some choices.
Well, you didn't watch Did you watch Caitlin's season?
I did.
So like Nick coming in halfway.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very similar energy.
Yeah. Who I can see the guy that she wound up with, his face, because he just had a baby with a lady.
Sean
Booth.
Sean Booth.
Yeah, that
He
was
just had a baby with a lady.
Well, they're not married. I don't even think they were, like, necessarily dating. So,
Wow, good for Sean, I guess.
I know.
Congratulations.
Totally. Anyway, weird. But I was trying to just, like, anyway, he and Nick had so much tension.
Oh, yeah.
So
Actually,
much.
Sean has wait, what's his name?
Sam.
Sam M energy.
He does. As soon as you start saying it, I was like, yes, he is just like Sam M.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of bristly
This is not,
masculine energy
Sam
there.
M is going to lose his shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and it does take away from Jenn and this whole experience, and it's stupid, and I don't like it.
Same. Boo.
Yeah, drama, but not like this.
I like Jenn. I'm just bummed that the men are taking away from, I don't know, her experience.
I really like Jenn too, and I feel like she's asking them thoughtful questions. She's engaging with the men on dates, and I really like seeing it. She's funny. She knows how to be sexy. It's like, I like the Jenn part. I hate the men part.
Same.
Maybe it'll get better. Because it'll be good to see them all squirm. Like, I don't feel bad for any of these guys. So, like, good. Get your heart broken. I want to see them uncomfortable and unhappy and maybe even a little miserable.
Well, there you have it, folks.
We'll check back in a couple weeks. Anything else before we sign off?
No. Rate, review, write us a letter. We love you guys.
Slide into the DMs. I will eventually get to you. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. Bye. Drama Bonded is produced and hosted by Mandy Booth and Jessica Brumbaugh. Graphic designer is Pigeon House. Thank you.